In the 85 days following the collapse of the Deepwater Horizon oil platform, over 180 million gallons of oil was released into the Gulf of Mexico. That's enough to fill 9 miles of Olympic pool, or enough to power 500,000 homes in America for an entire year. Today, we are going to dive 50 to 150 meters to what is known as Mesophotic coral reef ecosystems in the northern Gulf of Mexico. Of the many organisms affected by the oil spill were corals. The corals behind me are known as Mesophotic Gorgonian octocorals. They are the most ubiquitous organism within the Mesophotic. They provide habitat, structure, and feeding grounds for many commercially important fish species. They are the habitat engineers. The oil spill has created a very unique opportunity to study these organisms. For my thesis project, I will be studying the biological characteristics that would make these corals suitable for outplant activities. This is where we take healthy, lab-grown corals and we place them to replenish sick, injured corals in the wild. However, we know very little about these corals. Science has uncovered many mysteries, from how stars in outer space can create energy to how bacteria and hydrothermal vents can use chemicals to create energy. However, we do not fully understand how these corals acquire energy. Zooxanthellae are small algal structures that can provide energy to its host. These corals have both structures and traits such as oxygen production and fluorescence in response to nitrogen flight that indicate that they may also host these small algal structures. These corals are presumably heterotrophic, meaning that they solely feed on other organisms such as phytoplankton or zooplankton. However, as I mentioned before, these structures and traits may indicate that these corals rely more on light than we once assumed. It is imperative to understand the biological characteristics necessary for outplanting activities. We need to understand how they grow. Are they solely heterotrophic, like one would assume, or are they also reliant on other zooxanthellae pigment activities? It is time to take these corals out of the dark and expose basically exactly how they are growing. The Mesophotic Gorgonian octocoral